All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final round of the Sunshine Skillet Food Festival Chefs Competition. We started out with 6 chefs. We are now down to the final 3. So the way it's going to work is we have a mystery basket in front of them. They're going to be opening up those mystery baskets. They'll have 10 minutes, just 10 minutes to kind of get an idea in their head as to what they want to do with these ingredients. And then 20 minutes on the clock. That's all the time they're going to get to come up with some sort of creation that's going to please our judges. So in the final round, we have Leah Murray, Nick Gale, as well as Josh Gale. Brothers. Little brotherly competition in the final round. So a big round of applause to all of our competitors. The winner of the competition, they are going to be heading to Edmonton for the Canadian Food Championship, as well as $1,000 cash. So some pretty great prizes on the line. So you have in front of you that mystery box. We're going to put 10 minutes on the clock. We're ready to go with the 10 minutes. So once you open that up, you have 10 minutes to get those ideas. No touching any, knives, forks, no skillets. You can grab some items off the table behind me to kind of prepare, but 10 minutes just to plan. Are we ready? 10 minutes on the clock, and go! Open up those mystery boxes. I happen to have the ingredients in front of me right here. What they're going to be working with in the final round, you have the back bacon from TLC Farms, chorizo from McPherson Meats. Chorizo, I've never heard of this myself. Now what I understand is that's some sort of a sausage, so. Is it? But chorizo, I've never heard of it, so it is a sausage. Thank you for clearing that up, judges. Also, espresso balsamic vinegar from the Hat's oil tap, and also some cabbage. So once again, the back bacon, the chorizo, the espresso balsamic vinegar, and cabbage. That's what they have to work with. We'll give these lovely chefs just a minute or two to figure that out, and we're actually going to talk to last year's winner of this competition in just a few moments. Okay, chefs, you have just over 8 minutes left in the planning stage of the competition. Right now, though, I am joined by Curtis Christensen, who competed in this event last year, and Curtis won, and you went off to the Canadian Food Championship. So first of all, just tell us about your experience at this event, the final round. What did you have to do to win?
It was creativity in the end. The key to this is to take your ingredients and turn it into something else completely different, right? You can serve a pork chop that's really well seasoned, but if you can turn that into something else that's really well seasoned, you're really going to wow the judges, and that's where you're going to gain your points. And I think that's what I did last year. I had lentils, barbecue sauce, liver, and I ended up turning it into a lentil burger, and that was the originality that won me through.
So you went off to the Canadian Food Championships. Tell us about that experience, and obviously you won that as well?
I did. It's a very different competition. You have to actually design a recipe and submit it beforehand, right? So it's a very different competition, but it's a blast, right? So you spend a couple months training and practicing, and you just go and cook and hope for the best. Absolutely.
So with that, you punched your ticket to Team Canada, which went to Alabama for, was it the World Championship?
World Food Championships in Orange Beach, Alabama. I was on Team Canada. There was 420 teams from around the world there, and that's where it's going to be held for the next 5 years. So it's a rush. So if these guys, one of them is going to make it through the Canadian Food Championships, and they have the same opportunities. So But all I can say is just originality and creativity is huge. You can't lack the flavors, right? But you do want to turn it into something else to really wow those judges. So.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Curtis. Curtis Christensen, who won this event last year. Creativity is going to be a key to win this competition. So we have just over 6 minutes left in the planning stage of this event. We have the 4 ingredients: back bacon from TLC Farms, chorizo from McPherson Meats, espresso balsamic vinegar from the Hat's Oil Tap, and the final ingredient is actually sauerkraut from Sunrise Farms in Etzicum. It's going to be interesting to see what our chefs do with those ingredients. So we have just over 5 minutes left in the planning stage of the Sunshine Skillet Food Festival Chef's Competition. One of the mystery ingredients this time around is chorizo from McPherson Meats. I'm joined right now by Rachel McPherson. First of all, what the heck is chorizo, and am I even saying it right?
I think you're saying it just fine. Chorizo is just a spicy pork sausage. It's fresh, so it needs to be cooked. And yeah, if you like spicy foods, it's great.
So a spicy sausage, all right, that's going to be a nice little dish that we'll contend with today. Talk about McPherson Farms. I mean, this has been around for generations. Where are you, and what kind of work do you do there?
We're located in Big Stone, Alberta, which is about an hour and 40 minutes from Medicine Hat. And I'm the 4th generation. My kids are the 5th generation on the family farm. We're certified organic, so we believe we're producing a great product for everyone. And yeah, we do beef, pork, chicken, and we enjoy what we do. So.
And you're providing the chorizo for today's Sunshine Skillet Food Competition. Thank you very much, Rachel, for joining us. 4 minutes left in the planning stage, chefs. 4 minutes until we get the competition underway, where these gals and girls, or boys and girls, they'll have 20 minutes to come up with something that's going to wow our judges. Here's your 2-minute warning in the planning stage. 2-minute warning. All right, chefs, we're inside the 1 minute mark. Inside 1 minute to finish up your planning. And then we're gonna put 20 minutes on the clock, and that's where you're gonna shine. You have to make up something out of the back bacon, the chorizo. That's a tough one, folks. The espresso, balsamic vinegar, and the sauerkraut. So those are the 4 key ingredients. We talked to Curtis Christensen, who won this event last year. He said creativity, of course, is gonna be one of the keys. Creativity, what can you do with those 4 items? I'm not sure because I'm not a chef. That's why they give me the microphone. 20 seconds left in the planning, folks. 20 seconds. It looks like they all have a pretty good idea. They're ready to go. So we're gonna get 20 minutes on the clock. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. We're gonna put 20 minutes on the clock. And go! 20 minutes to make your creations. We'll let the chefs to it. We'll talk to some of the judges as well as the organizer in a few minutes. All right, checking out the clock, we have over 18 minutes left in the final round of the competition. Right now, though, I'm joined by Jace Anderson with Tourism Medicine Hat, and you guys are kind of behind the Sunshine Skillet. First of all, Jace, the history of the event, it's been around for a few years now.
Absolutely. It's been 5 years now. This is the 5th annual. It's been a community-driven event from the very beginning. It was the local hotel association and the Exhibition and Stampede who were involved at the onset. And we're partnering with the Medicine Hat Exhibition and Stampede this year again in co-leading the event to bring it together. But it's a fantastic mixture of people from organizations like Canadian Badlands and Travel Alberta and Tourism Medicine Hat and the Stampede, people in the community all over who have a passion for what this day can be.
And it is so fun. I competed in the media event 2 years ago, and it's, well, for a guy who really doesn't cook, it was stressful yet fun all at the same time. And the great part about it this year as well as last year, you combined the skillet competition with the farmers market. I mean, how great is that?
It's just an absolute win for everybody involved. The fact that we get to set up and participate and help the farmers market celebrate their first year is wonderful. And it gives us a built-in, ready-made connection to what's important to us already, which is that locally sourced farm to plate and building that culinary awareness.
And food tourism in the area, I mean, what we have in our area with the greenhouses and the farms, does that drive a lot of people to the area?
It turns out, lo and behold, that when people travel, they also like to eat.
Yes.
Right? And so really for us to recognize and to be able to champion, in some cases, what's happening in our community that is unique to who we are as a region and promote that and celebrate that, it's a win for the entire area.
Jace Anderson with Tourism Medicine Hat, thank you so much for joining us. Kind of the driver behind the skillet competition. We'll check in with the judges next. We have 4 judges with us this afternoon as well, judging the competition. We'll introduce them right now. First of all, Tracy Hyatt. Now, she is the Associate Managing Editor of AMA Insider, a member magazine of the Alberta Motor Association. Now, Tracy writes about travel and culinary tourism across Canada, so we welcome Tracy to the event. Up next, we have Scott Schmidt. You know him as the layout editor and guest columnist sometime in the Medicine Hat News. Now, Scott, he's been with the newspaper for a while, but before that career, he was in the restaurant business for upwards of 12 years, cooking at various locations throughout Western Canada, and he spent some time in the kitchens, running the kitchens, I should say, at Earl's, Eastside Mario's, and Boston Pizza in Medicine Hat. So he knows his way around the kitchen. Welcome, Scott, as one of our judges. Linda Garson. Linda is a foodie who loves wine. If you love wine, come talk to her. You'll get together really well. She's worked in many places like France, Germany, Australia, South Africa, so much more. And she is the editor-in-chief of Culinary Magazine, which just celebrated 5 years onto its 6th. Thank you for joining us, Linda. And our final judge of the competition is Victor Hugo. Victor, born and raised in Mexico, but last year he co-launched Lamar Mexican Mobile Kitchen. It's a food truck in Edmonton, so that features land and sea Mexican cuisine, and they're hoping to expand to, or they should be expanding to, a permanent space this year. So Victor Hugo out of Edmonton. Those are your judges for the competition. We have 14 minutes left. Competitors, 14 minutes left for your dishes. And our 4 ingredients in this round is the back bacon from TLC Farms, chorizo from McPherson Meats, espresso balsamic vinegar from the Hat's Oil Tap, as well as sauerkraut from Sunrise Farms in Ensicum. All right, we have about 13 minutes left in the competition. Let's talk to some of our competitors. First, Leah Murray, who was round 1 winner. Leah, what do you think? What do you got going on for this final round?
Well, I'm trying to do some chorizo meatballs with some of the sauerkraut in them, some shallots in there, and then I've got some beets pickling in the balsamic vinegar, and gonna try and make these super crispy and go as a garnish.
Have you ever worked with chorizo before?
I have, not very often. It's one of those things, I'm not a huge fan of like sausages and stuff like that, so I don't use them very often, but I'm gonna go with it.
She's gonna go with it. Thank you, Leah Murray. We'll let you back at it. 12 minutes left in the competition, the final round of the Sunshine Food Skillet competition. All right, I'm joined now by Josh Gale, who was a round 3 winner. Just taking a look at these mystery items, what are you planning to do? Do you have a good plan in your head?
Yeah, I think so. So what I wanted to do with the sauerkraut was get the brininess out of the pickle out of it. So I soaked that in water, drained it, and I'm going to use that with potato, carrot to make a fritter to go along with my chorizo back bacon meatball. I'll top that with an arugula little salad.
Ah, the meatball. That's a clever idea. Have you worked with the chorizo before?
I mean, yeah, I've had it before, but never decased it to make a meatball, so that's new.
See, you get to try something new at this competition. So that is Josh Gale, our round 3 winner. We'll let you back to the action, and we'll talk to our final competitor next. All right, we have just over 10 minutes left in the competition. Can't stress this enough, competitors. You need to plate that food before the time expires, or else there will be deductions. So make sure you plate that food before the time expires. Right now, though, I am joined by round 2 winner, Nick Gale. Nick, what are you gonna do? What do you plan to do with all these ingredients?
Well, I'm going to try to do a little bit of a patty with the bacon and the chorizo together, and maybe make it into a bit of a wrap, maybe? We'll see how it all comes together.
I've asked all the competitors this. Have you worked with the chorizo before?
Yeah, I love chorizo. It's super spicy. It's got a nice flavor with all the paprika in it. It's a delicious product.
All right, we'll let you back at it. Under 10 minutes left in the competition. 10 minutes until we find out who is going to be the 2017 winner of the Sunshine Skillet Food Festival Chef's Competition. All right, we have 7.5 minutes left in the final round of the Skillet Competition 2017. I'm joined right now by Judge Scott Schmidt. You've had a chance to go around, soak in some of the flavors. What do you think? What are you expecting out of this final round?
Well, what we're seeing is it looks like all three are doing somewhat similar ideas, so that's going to be very interesting. Like, it hasn't been hard enough to pick winners when they're completely the opposite dishes. I think it's going to be crazy hard when they're all doing something similar, like a different variation of what they're doing. One of the keys to this is being able to execute what you're doing, right? So you want to be creative, but complexity isn't necessarily an asset either. As we saw today, you can try to do something and then not finish, and that pretty much burns you. So they're all trying something that is going to have to cook a certain amount of time, and it has to cook right. So I have a feeling that that's where we're going to find the discrepancy of who's going to win, is who's able to execute what they've tried to do, if that makes sense.
It does, it does. When it comes to all these mystery ingredients, we have the back bacon, the chorizo, the balsamic vinegar, the sauerkraut. What is going to be the toughest one to work with and make something out of it?
Well, anytime you're using meat, that's the easy part. So it's working in your other ingredients to incorporate into the meat. You can take the sauerkraut's something that obviously it has a unique flavor, and you can't just take sauerkraut and stick it in anything and make it work. It's not bacon, right? Yeah. So that's the key, is the sauerkraut. How are they going to use that and make it work with what they're doing? We've seen some going in with the meat. We've seen, obviously, Josh is doing something a little different. So how are they going to incorporate the sauerkraut? For me, especially since I'm German, that's going to be big.
Scott, thank you so much for your time. Just over 5 minutes left in the competition. 5 minutes, chefs, to get your food done. All right, chefs, 4.5 minutes left in the competition to finish off your dish and plate it. 4.5 minutes. I'm joined right now by Linda Garson, the editor-in-chief of Culinary Magazine. You've had a chance to see these chefs in the first 3 rounds, and now you've had a chance to see what they're doing for this final round, the one that counts. What do you expect out of this round?
Well, this is really exciting. I mean, espresso balsamic vinegar, now there's the thing. That's a pretty strong flavour, isn't it? So I hope that's not going to overpower anything. And chorizo, a bit of spicy sausage, that's my thing, I have to say. I'm looking forward to trying and seeing what they've done with it. And we're looking at some meatballs, some very different type of meatballs and stuffed crepes. So this is all going to be very interesting. I'm not sure where the sauerkraut fits. I mean, that's a really tough one, isn't it?
You're asking the wrong guy here. I'll eat it. I won't cook with it. But you talked about the chorizo and the espresso balsamic vinegar. Like, those are on 2 opposite ends of the spectrum, wouldn't you say?
They certainly are, yes. But they're both pretty strong flavours. So we've got to get that balance right there between the flavours. And then that back bacon. Oh my goodness, what amazing bacon that is. Wow. I mean, that's got really good flavour as well. So this could be a flavour bomb of a meal. We'll find out.
Yes, and bacon has made an appearance in every single competition in the 3 rounds so far and this round. So it smells great in here, doesn't it?
Isn't it just? That's why the judges are all smiling. There's bacon in every round.
Exactly. We'll let you back to taking a look at some of this. Thank you so much, Linda. We have 3 minutes, just under 3 minutes now left in the cooking competition. Get those plates done. Two-minute warning, 2-minute warning. All right, chefs, this is your 1-minute warning. 1 minute left in the final round of the Sunshine Skillet Food Festival Chefs Competition 2017. We have Leah Murray, Nick Gale, and Josh Gale all finishing up their plates. Now what's on the line? $1,000 cash going to the winner, as well as that ticket to the Canadian Food Championship in Edmonton. So a lot on the line right now. We're about 30 seconds away from hands up. Okay, so make sure, chefs, you get that food plated. If not, there will be some deductions. We've already seen that, unfortunately, today. This is what's left of the 6 competitors. We started out with 6, whittled it down to these 3, and momentarily we're gonna find out who our winner is. Everybody in the crowd, let's count down here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands up, everybody. There you have it. That is the final round. So how it's going to work is we'll give them 1 second. We'll talk to each person about their dish, and we'll get them to the judges for the final judging criteria, and then we'll crown ourselves a winner. Stay with us. Okay, the chefs are about to present their dishes to the judges. First of all, Leah Murray, just run us through what you have here.
Okay, so I did a meatball and included the sauerkraut with the chorizo, a little bit of spinach in there. It's hard trying to combat all the salt because the chorizo is really salty, the back bacon's really salty. So I did a quick pickled beet in a balsamic vinegar along with a strawberry to really help kind of punch up that sweetness and the tartness as well. And then a little sauteed pepper underneath and all the good stuff that was left in the pan.
Perfect. Well, it smells delicious. We'll let you head on over to the judges. Right behind me, round 2 number winner. Let's talk to Nick Gale. Run us through. You had 20 minutes. What did you come up with?
So I made a stuffed crepe, so a crepe on the bottom, and then I fried up the some orange peppers, and I used some of the sauerkraut with the peppers to fry it up with. Then I made a chorizo patty, which I also included the sauerkraut into the patty with the bacon, so the bacon's in the patty with the chorizo, and then I topped it off with a little light salad with a raspberry balsamic vinaigrette, and again, actually, I used some of the pickling from the sauerkraut in that as well, and topped it with a little bit of Parmesan cheese on the top. So,
whoa, very good, nicely done. We'll let you take that up to the judges, and finally, we'll head over to round number 3 winner. Josh Gale, 20 minutes, 4 mystery ingredients. How did you fare and what did you create?
So what I did is I made a chorizo and back bacon meatball, which I breaded and fried. I took the sauerkraut, I soaked it in water, drained it to get the pickle out of it, and then I combined that with potatoes, carrots, and onions to make a fritter. Topped off with a arugula salad with the balsamic, and then a little bit of sour cream and chive, just because it's all pretty spicy stuff. So just to cut it down a little bit.
Well, good luck to you, Josh. You can take that up to the judges now. They'll have a moment or two to taste all this great food, make their judgment, and we'll have ourselves a winner. We'll actually talk to some of the judges as well. Let's check out the judges' table. I know Scott Schmitz had a chance to taste all 3 dishes. Scott, anything that sticks out in particular?
Well, the creativity, like when Curtis was saying before this round that creativity is going to win it, I don't know if they all took that to heart or would have done this anyways, but they all did exactly that. They took it and did something different with what they had. They did something off the board, so to speak. So fantastic all across the board. Everything is really delicious. The flavors, the spice with the sweet on all, like it's, I don't know, Thai.
It's going to be a tough one is what you're saying. Tracy, your thoughts. You've had a chance to try all 3 now. Is it going to be tough to decide?
It is going to be tough to decide. The chorizo is quite spicy, spicier than I would have imagined. And I like how some of them use their salad to basically cut down on some of the heat, cut through the heat.
Thank you, Tracy. Moving on down the line here, let's talk to Linda first. Linda, we had a discussion about the chorizo and the balsamic vinegar being on opposite ends of the spectrum. Was there some harmony? Did they find harmony in those flavors?
They did, and it's very interesting because some of them you can taste up the espresso balsamic and some you can't so much. Chorizo is very, very spicy, which is great for us, but it's very interesting to see then how the sauerkraut comes through as well, or whether it comes through, in fact. So the three very different dishes. It's going to be a tough one, yes.
Thank you, Linda. And finally, Victor. Linda was just talking about the spice. How's your mouth doing right now?
The spice is fabulous. The chorizo is very nice product. I think both plates is completely different. They are very nice balance, sweet and salty and spicy, but have different textures. And, yeah, definitely is for test. Win the test here.
We'll give you a few more minutes to finish up trying all three plates. Make your judgments. It's a score out of 100. So once we tally that up, we'll find out who gets the $1,000 as well as that ticket to the Canadian Food Championship in Edmonton and possibly heading on to the Worlds like Curtis Christensen did just last year when he won this competition. Stand by. We'll have our winner soon. right, folks, stand by. They're just tallying up the final numbers now. We'll do the presentation momentarily. All right, folks, I have in my hand the winner of the Sunshine Skillet Food Festival Chef Competition 2017. Just quickly, here's what the judges were looking for: serving method and presentation, creativity and practicality, flavor, taste, texture, and doneness, hygiene and station cleanliness, and the mystery basket and portion size. So that's what they based their judgment on. Now, the mystery items in this round were the back bacon, the chorizo, espresso, balsamic vinegar, and sauerkraut. That's what these chefs had to work with. All right, third place, $150 cash prize and McPherson Meats 10% off coupon goes to Leah Murray. Congratulations. So we have ourselves a pair of brothers, a little brotherly competition. Is there going to be a fist fight at the end of this, do you think? Okay, too full, they can't move. All right, boys, we have the Gale boys. The winner of the Sunshine Skillet 2017 $1,000 cash prize and that ticket to the Canadian Food Championship, that is going to Nick Gale. Congratulations, Nick. So that makes Josh the runner-up, $300 cash prize, and also that certificate to McPherson Meats. Well, Nick, you made it through 2 rounds, 2 great dishes to impress the judges and win this competition. Did you ever think, first of all, when we started this, that you'd get to this point?
Yeah, I would say no. As of 2 days ago, I didn't know I was going to be in the contest, and I was a backup to get in here. And I got an email late Thursday night that said I was in the competition, and I was having some supper with my brother last night, and I said, geez, I haven't even thought about the competition much yet. So usually in the past, I've really tried to have some ideas on the go and prepare. Even in the back room today, after I'd won the first round, I looked up the crepe recipe because I thought that might be a good thing to do. So on my phone, I looked up the crepe recipe, used it here today, and I guess it turned out pretty successful.
It's only 2 days to really get your mind into this game. 2 days, would you say that's enough?
No. Well, apparently it was today, but most often I would think not. You just got to be able to think on your feet and just be able to come up with some different ideas as you get out here. So.
What was the hardest part of the competition today? Ingredients or just time-wise?
The time is a real crunch. 20 minutes to prepare a dish is very difficult. If you want to have everything cooked to proper temperature, which I think some other people found out today, that's really difficult. The time is really difficult. And then trying to manage flavors. You're working with some products that you're not completely familiar with. I had no idea that chorizo was going to be as spicy as it was. It was very, very spicy, but really nice product. I'd love to take some at home. But it was really, really great. So managing the flavors is a tough one as well.
So we know now that you're going to the Canadian Food Championship in Edmonton. You will have time to prepare for this one. So what's your game plan going forward?
Well, I think my understanding is I can have a sous chef with me, so I'll probably bring Josh along. I think he'd be a pretty good sous chef to bring. He's going to have to listen to me as the older brother. Sorry, man. I think, I'll certainly have to look at the parameters of that contest and see what they're looking for in terms of, I think it's a sandwich round, something like that we're doing. Anyways, that's going to be real exciting. I love doing these cooking contests. They're just a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Congratulations, Nick Gale, winner of the Sunshine Skillet 2017 Food Festival Chef Competition. Sounds like his brother's going with him to Edmonton. Good luck to you and great job today. And thank you to all the judges who took part. We'll see you again next year.